Okay, here's an update on Henry. Just had a chance to check it out the last few days or week or so and find out what's wrong with it, what's not wrong, and it's in really good shape. Biggest problem I had was the wiring, but I've gone through and done quite a few things. New battery. I put these mil-spec cable ends on here, which I love these things because you can put several lugs on here if you want, and they're real heavy duty and they work well. You can see on the positive side I've got a few here, but anyway, so I've done that. New battery, those all new cables. I made the cables out of welding cable. Well, the negative side is just a 4 gauge. I didn't have enough of the welding cable left, and this was plenty good enough, but I did put new ground straps from the block to the frame and from the battery to the frame and block as well, and over here, so we got good ground all the way around. And then I put grounding blocks on the firewall and over here in the front and on this side as well, so I had places to run grounds for the lights and everything else, and so we got really good grounds all the way around, no problem there. New alternator, and this one, those are my markings. I reclocked this alternator because you can see where the connector is. It's at the 12 o'clock position now. Before it was at the 6 o'clock position, and it was butting right up against this valve cover, and I didn't like that. Even with the rubber cover on it, I didn't like having all that juice right next to it, and besides, it was a pain in the butt to get to. So anyway, new alternator because the other one wasn't charging, and then I reclocked it and it's working great. This is a new overflow tube. I did a video the other day of this little repair sleeve I put in here for this neck here, which broke off, and it saved the day. So far it has not leaked, so knock on wood again. But I had to replace the tubing that goes to the overflow bottle right here, so I got all that. Most of the wiring under here is new. I haven't had a chance. I've got some flexible conduit on order, should be here next week. Then I can cover all this up and make it look pretty so you don't see all that stuff. But I ran all new wires to the headlights, and I also put a relay on the low beam and a relay on the high beam side to take the load off the switch because it did not have any of that. So now it's all working like a modern car would. Everything's working great. I took the air cleaner off because it had this big honking Edelbrock thing that looked like it belonged on a boat or something. I don't know, but I still like it. So I've ordered a round one that's kind of an old school moon dish shape. I should have that in a couple days. So that doesn't have the air cleaner on it right now. And then we'll come around to the inside. I also, it's down below behind the dash, but I put 2 new fuse panels in, one for battery power and one for accessory power. And I took almost everything off the old fuse box because it had the old glass fuses, and it was the 1958 wiring and all that stuff and everything else. So now I got places to run my power. I installed a little radio in the glove box, just a little $30 Amazon radio, or that I bought on Amazon, and it was under the seat here, underneath the console, and the previous owner had it there. I just didn't like it. It wasn't working anyway, so I took out the old stereo, rerouted the wiring. He had a automatic antenna in here that wasn't wired, but I wired it up and it's working. I also took the ignition out, and I put a I just bought a nice looking little momentary button. That's the start button now. I put in a new headlight switch, and that all works good. I'll show all that in a minute. New steering wheel. The old steering wheel was flat, and my, turn this down, and my fingers were hitting the turn signal lever every time I turned it. So I bought a deeper dish steering wheel that gets it away from there. So now I don't have that. Fuel gauge wasn't working. Somehow it got a break in the continuity in the line between the computer module for the gauges and the sender. So I ran a new wire to that today, and that's all working. And I'll show you this. See, everything is starts right up. Everything's running good. We got LED lights all the way around now for the turn signals and the tail lights. And in the back, I actually installed different fixtures. Had some tiny round ones on there with those little incandescent bulbs. They just weren't really doing much. Previous owner put in. That's kind of cool. So that's all working fine. So everything's working well right now. We took it out cruising today. Got tunes, gauges, wiring's okay now. So only a couple more things to do. I need to redo the bed. The wood's all torn up, and I think I mentioned in a previous video that I put new tires on it the other day. So she's just about ready to rock and roll now. So we're gonna go cruising. Oh, I did put a larger mirror on here. It had one of those dinky little mirrors, so I put a larger mirror on there as well. So we're getting there. Thanks for watching.